Hello everyone. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make chewy ginger molasses chocolate cookies. So this is everything that you're going to need. We're going to need flour, we're going to need sugar in the roll. I use this to roll the cookies in. After I roll them into a ball, I will roll them in the sugar in a separate little bowl and then put them on the cookie sheet. We're going to need baking soda, cocoa. I'm using Hershey's cocoa, but if you have any other kind of cocoa, that's fine. We're gonna need molasses. We're gonna need light brown sugar. If you wanted, you could use dark brown sugar as well. We're gonna need 3/4 cup of unsalted room temperature butter. We're gonna need 1 large egg at room temperature. We're gonna need ground ginger, ground nutmeg, ground cloves, vanilla, allspice, cinnamon, and salt. So I'm gonna get this all measured out and then I'll be back to show you what we do. Okay, I have everything measured out. So in this bowl, I have 2 1/2 cups of flour. In this bowl here, I have 1/4 cup of white sugar. In this bowl here, I have 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Here I have 1/3 cup of molasses. I have my 1 room temperature egg. And here I have 1/4 cup of cocoa, which was this was the Hershey cocoa. And then we have my 3/4 cup of room temperature butter. Over here we have, I'll start right here. Actually, we'll start right here. Right here I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am using sea salt. Here we have 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Here we have 1 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Here we have 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. I have 1/4 teaspoon of cloves and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sift the flour, so the 2 1/2 cups of flour, the cocoa, and all of my spices and the salt and baking soda, we're gonna sift that into this bowl here. And then I'll be back to show you the next step. Just wanted to show you, so you put all of the flour and all of the dry spices except for the brown sugar and the regular sugar. All the flour, all the spices, baking soda, salt, we sift through here. So I'm gonna sift that, and then what we're gonna do in this bowl, you're gonna put your butter, egg, molasses, vanilla, brown sugar, white sugar into a separate bowl, and you're gonna mix it. If you have a stand mixer, you can use that. I don't have a stand mixer, so I'm just gonna use a regular hand mixer, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get to that step. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all, so I have the butter, the egg, the vanilla, the molasses, the brown sugar, and the white sugar. And now we're just gonna mix it until everything's combined. You wanna be careful because if you mix this for too long, it can cause your cookies to come out flat and really spread. So we're just gonna mix it until it's all incorporated, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so all I mixed it for was about 1.5 minutes. If you have to scrape down your bowl, go ahead. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our dry ingredients here, and you wanna slowly mix it into this bowl here with your sugar mixture. You wanna be careful not to add, you don't wanna add this whole entire bowl at one time, because if you go to turn your mixer on, it's gonna explode everywhere. Like, you're gonna have flour everywhere. So what I do is, I just get a big spoon like this. And I just slowly start to mix it in. So because I only have 2 hands, I'm gonna start that. Don't overmix this either, because it can also cause problems with your cookies. So if you, by the time you get all of this mixture in, if you still see flour around the edges, that's fine. Just use a spatula to get it all mixed in. So we're gonna get that all mixed in and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I just wanted to show you this. I took one off already, but I'm like, I better show you guys. So do you see how there's flour along the edges? That's fine. And the dough is stuck here in the attachment. I'm just gonna take it off like I did the other one. We're gonna use the spatula, we're gonna get it off, we're gonna get it into the bowl, and then we're just gonna give the bowl a couple stirs until you don't see the flour anymore. Okay, this is what it will look like. So now it is a sticky dough. So, and my lighting in here really stinks. Let me see if I can bring it up here. See, this light works better. Oh, I thought if I'd bring it over to natural light, it would be a little bit better. It is a sticky dough. There we go. That's the color. So I'm gonna put saran wrap over this and put it in the fridge. You can put it in the refrigerator like anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. So I'm gonna cover it with saran wrap, put it in the fridge, and then when I come back, I'll let you know how long that I had it in the fridge for. And then we're gonna roll it into balls. We're gonna take the scooper, cookie scooper, scoop it, put it in our hand, roll it in a ball, and then we're gonna roll it in the sugar of the raw. And I'll be back. Okay, my dough has been chilling in the refrigerator, covered with saran wrap for an hour. I have my cookie scoop here. I have a parchment lined baking sheet. I have the oven preset at 325 degrees. I have a bowl of the sugar and the raw here. And then I have just an extra plate because while these are baking, I'm gonna continue to roll them and put them on here and then stick this in the fridge with the saran wrap covering it. So I'm gonna roll a couple and then I'll show you what it looks like. To start off with, I am just gonna do 6. So as you can see, I rolled them into balls, dunked them in the sugar, have them on the lined baking sheet with parchment paper. We're gonna put them in the oven at 325 degrees, preheated oven, and we're gonna bake them anywhere from 8 to 11 minutes. It depends on your oven, so I'm gonna set my timer for 8 minutes. I'm gonna check them. We definitely don't want them to get burnt. So plus they will, you wanna leave when I get to that point. But yeah, let's get them cooking. And while they're cooking, I'm gonna continue to roll the balls, put them on this, put them in the fridge, but I'll show you what they look like, and you don't wanna sugar them yet. So I'm just gonna roll them, put them on here, put it in the fridge, and then once I'm ready for the next batch, then I'll roll them in the sugar and put them on the baking sheet. Okay, so this is what they look like. You just roll it in between your palms. If they start to crack a little bit, all you gotta do is squeeze it in between your palms and then just roll it again. So I'm gonna put this back in the fridge covered with saran wrap. I'm also gonna lay saran wrap over this one here. So I covered this with saran wrap as well, and we're gonna put this right back in the fridge with the remainder of the bowl. And then once the cookies are cool enough from the ones that are baking right now, and I get them onto a cooling rack, then I'll just bring this one out here and I'll just dip them in the sugar, put them on the baking sheet and put them in the oven. And then I'll just keep rolling as I need to, that way they're ready to go. If you wanted, you could also freeze these. You could roll them like this and put them in the freezer and they could last like 3 months in the freezer. You can cook them right from the freezer, but I would cook them like 1 to 2 minutes longer. Depending on your oven, you might need a little bit longer, but yeah, you can absolutely roll these up like this, put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. Or maybe put them in if you have like some kind of deep dish so that you don't want them to get all stuck together in a Ziploc bag. If you lay the Ziploc bag like long ways, like flat, and line them and then put them in the freezer, that might work, but you don't want them to get all stuck together. So just keep that in mind, but you can absolutely freeze them as well. Okay, my first batch is done. So I'm just letting them cool on you can see that under there, a rack. They are done. Once they're cool, then you can place them on the cooling rack as well. Hello everyone. Okay, so if you follow the recipe, I got 33 cookies out of this. Now I have some over on the table as well. And this is the cookie scoop. So it will depend on how big you make the cookies. If you want your cookies to be a little more flat than this, then what you can do is roll them as normal, and then just take your palm and just push them down a little bit. That one's just a little one. But yeah, you can just push them down a little. Like so. Okay, my cookies are done. I've already eaten like 3 of them, 3 or 4. They are good. You can either store them in a container with a lid or put them in a Ziploc gallon bag. Just get the extra air out of them. There they are. If you try the recipe, I hope that you enjoy it. Hope y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.